Good evening, USA Ambassador.
Good evening, Chinese Ambassador.
Great to see you. I'm glad we can meet on this topic about TikTok and how we can figure out this situation.
We need to.
We need to indeed.
Listen, all of our intelligence agencies and our senators and politicians are very concerned that TikTok is allowing China to steal American data.
Well, you see, that is not really a problem that we see in our eyes. We use this app TikTok as a platform for people to express themselves, really show their creativity. It's not about stealing information or trying to do any of that.
But what about the data centers that are in China that store US data?
Well, you see, we just use that as a coding process to kind of figure out what people like, kind of just trying to find the right fit for them within the app. It's not about stealing data or any of that.
See, but we're concerned that, you're a competing economy and really, we have an ethnocentrism within our system right now where, people believe that our way of doing things is the best way and it's the right way that it should be done, and that's American. And so having this app that everyone uses that's Chinese is against, a lot of the American ethnocentrism. And I think it'd be better if we just had an American app.
Well, I don't know. It's funny you say that because having this being a non-American app expands it to many different cultures, because if it was an only American app, it would just be inside the US, and other countries and places around the world wouldn't be able to share their creativity like they're able to do since we run it.
But they could just use, Instagram, they could use other apps. Like, why is TikTok so important?
Well, you see, it kind of adds into the globalization factor, which requires more than open markets, and it demands the integration of diverse culture practices. So you really get a mix of everything with us having power over that.
But when you control the app, you control how the media is being framed to the American public's perception, which changes things, in the geopolitical context.
Well, that could also be a factor into the language differences that often leads to miscommunication and misinterpretation, which can cause confusion, which I can see as cause for you.
But again, you could be bringing Chinese propaganda through your app, influencing our Americans, and now, America could be like communist China next. We want to prevent that.
Well, actually, I was examining this article earlier today that kind of highlights the relationship between the US and China from 2018 to 2023, highlighting the challenges and tensions arising from the trade wars, the pandemic, technology competition, and the differences and the differing approaches to global issues. It details a significant meeting between the president of Joe Biden and Xi Jinping that aims to calm the waters, mentioning their commitment to dialogue and cooperation on a variety of issues, including military-to-military dialogue, renewable energy, narcotics, artificial intelligence, and scientific cooperation. This account offers a background for understanding how high-level diplomacy works to manage and potentially resolve conflicts, serving as a backdrop for exploration, intercultural communication, and compromisation.
That sounds great, but it sounds like you found that on TikTok. I mean, it's more complicated than that. And, the US wants to keep itself very clean and very far away from, communist practices. We love the free markets here. And if you guys can influence what our public's seeing, the news it's getting, its perception, that could be very bad for our Americans, and we want to protect them.
Well, you haven't thought about the idea that U.S. and China relationship in 2024 is pretty stabilized. You gotta see, you gotta see the bigger picture here.
I don't want to destabilize our relationship, but again, if I'm hearing from my Secret Service and agencies and that you're stealing our data, the TikTok app connects to Wi-Fi, and it can steal their Wi-Fi data, and it knows what people want, and it knows what people are interested in, and it knows everything about them, and then it tells them what to think. That's like you're basically owning America.
I know, but you need to think as more as a relationship rather than one person owning the other, because this perspective could enrich a skit by providing examples of how underlying skepticism and political pressure can influence diplomatic engagement and the complex process of building trust and understanding across cultures.
But you know what? I don't really know if people are learning on TikTok. They're there to just entertain themselves. Are they really learning about these cross cultures?
Yeah, you really are, because you're getting so many different people from different parts of the world. And they use TikTok as a channel to kind of put out like their cultures and their beliefs so other people around the world can see them. So it's kind of just like...
So I've never used TikTok. My grandchildren have the TikTok app, and I hate that, obviously. And why do you think all these kids are signing up for the app? I mean, you're going after the kids. Should we be scared about the children of America being on these Chinese apps?
Well, you need to think about it as more as an informative channel instead of just entertainment. Because you see a lot of pages that are very, like, they give a lot of good information out, and you can learn about the world and what's going on. And a lot of kids would rather use this TikTok to get their general information instead of the news and that stuff. So
and it's bringing their attention span down, right? The videos are so short.
Yeah, but that's just to get information out there faster and to really have these kids bring in more information quicker.
But when you're on the TikTok app, it connects to your Wi-Fi?
It does, as long as any other app
connects to Wi-Fi. Does that mean it knows where you are?
That's with every other app, though.
But would you tell me, like, would you publish out where you're staying, at the hotel here in America? Would you make that public knowledge? Or would you share that with others?
But you're doing the same thing on other apps, like Instagram, Facebook. You're posting on there, showing where you are, what your interests are.
But that's an American company, so I think people trust them. People are not sharing it with the Chinese.
Well, it's the same ideas, pretty much. Like your apps, the American apps are doing the exact same thing that our app, TikTok, is doing.
But now, if you guys have all this data and create an AI that's better than the Americans' AI, then can't you get ahead in this geopolitical world, with the first best AI? And maybe I don't want you to have all this data and that economic advantage against the US.
Well, you need to add in the fact of the trade war. And before this interview, I was catching up with this article that provides a detailed analysis of the US-China trade war, explaining the economic and political rationality behind the tariffs and the impact on industries and the broader consequences for global economic activity and GDP. And this article discussed the Phase 1 trade agreement and the ongoing challenges in meeting its terms, as well as the strategic and economic implications of these tensions. The narrative around the economic competition and retaliation offers a practical case study on how businesses just distribute, can escalate, and the importance of negotiation and compromisation.
So what do you think we should do?
I really think that you should keep TikTok open to the whole world because it's a very informative app and it's a great way for people to take in information quicker, faster, which is just saving you time and at the end just making the world a better place.
Well, what if we kept the app, but we made it an American company for American TikToks?
Then you guys would be doing the exact, like, you think we're taking information from everyone, that would be the exact same case.
I'm okay if we're doing it. I mean, then it'd be me.
Yeah, and I'm okay if we're doing it, because that would be me as well, so.
You make a good point.
You make a good point as well.
But, my ethnocentrism from America makes me believe that the way we do things is just better than the way other people do things.
Well, the media often utilizes strategic framing to influence public perception, which I think that's where your head is at, and that's particularly in geopolitical context.
But wouldn't that be your fault since you got all the media on TikTok?
But you're trying to do the exact same thing that we're doing and take it away from us and run it just like we were.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Do you have any questions for me?
There's an interesting fact that
Sure.
I read earlier today. And it was just about the U.S.-China relationship, and that the commentary outlines the state of the U.S.-China relationships in 2024, acknowledging the stabilization efforts made during the Biden summit, but also recognizes the efforts made or the deep mutual skepticism and enrichment threat perceptions that persist. It reflects on the broader public and the political views of both sides and both countries, with an emphasis on the challenges of managing a competitive relationship while avoiding further deterioration. So,
that is a good point. Now, what makes TikTok so special that it's it needs to be around compared to the YouTube Reels and Instagram Reels?
Well, all those other apps are kind of just trying to do what we're doing, which is get information out there as fast as possible and have people watch shorter videos so they can take in the information faster. And so, yeah, it's kind of just like the same thing. Or all those other apps are trying to do the same thing as us.
But, because we protect freedom of speech in America, but can't they just speak on the other places, right? It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, but our app is just a great platform to get it across to different cultures, different countries, whereas other apps like Instagram, like YouTube Reels, like you were saying, is pretty conserved to the area that you're in.
Can people use TikTok to learn about different cultures?
Yeah, definitely, because we have such a broad population, like of different cultures, different countries using our app, so you can really see what's going on around the world.
So does that mean potential tourists are learning about coming to America on TikTok?
They're also doing that on every other app because they can see what's happening in the U.S.
I do like that.
And on the news, all that. So it's not like that's kind of hidden information.
Well, I'll definitely have to go back to our State Department and make sure we do more research on the global trade implications of a TikTok ban and how that would impact our U.S.-China relationship and how that could impact our world perception, in participating in this larger, global social media network, where people are understanding things about America and Americans are understanding things about other cultures. It's very good to promote cross-cultural understandings, and there's often a barrier just because of the language difference, which really often leads to miscommunication and misinterpretation. Very much confuses people. So I do appreciate that benefit, and just from the U.S. side, we're trying to weigh in the benefits of all of that and the freedom of speech with our worry about just data being stolen and giving China an economic advantage when maybe we want it for ourselves, and the privacy of Americans.
Definitely, I completely see that side. I'm very glad we met today and talked about this, and hopefully we can move on in the future and have a compromisation.
Well, good.
Great talking to you.
Great talking.
Very well.
I just signed into law the national security package that was passed by the House of Representatives this weekend and by the Senate yesterday. It's going to make America safer, it's going to make the world safer, and it continues America's leadership in the world, and everyone knows it.
Okay, so on Wednesday morning, President Joe Biden signed into law a bill that could ban TikTok. But it's not like the app is going to disappear from your phones immediately, and there's a few reasons why. First off, what the legislation says is that the Chinese parent company of TikTok, which is called ByteDance, they would have 9 months to sell the app. If they can do that, then there's no problem. TikTok will not disappear, but if they can't do it in that timeline, then it will be banned. So 9 months means the earliest that would happen would be January of 2025. And even then, the president would have the option to extend that by 3 months if it looked like there was progress towards a sale. Then there's the separate avenue of, well, TikTok intends on likely suing the US government over this legislation. That could hold things up if a court decides, well, we're just going to review this and stave off the ban while we take a look at the legal merits of this case. So all of which is to say, TikTok's not going to disappear from your phones immediately, but yes, the threat of TikTok disappearing is certainly out there with the president having signed this bill.
Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok.
Hey guys, get ready with me for class. So today I have my Rode lip balm that I'm gonna be using.
Girl, are you really filming a TikTok right now?
Yeah, I love TikTok.
No, I know, but didn't you hear it's gonna be banned?
Girl, what?
Girl, yes.
Oh my gosh.
No, I know. They just passed like all these laws this morning. Like Joe Biden did this whole talk and everything, and it's gonna be banned.
But I love TikTok and I love having it in the US.
I love TikTok too.
That's so interesting. So wait, where are you from again?
I'm from China.
Oh my gosh, and you guys use TikTok over there a lot?
Yeah, but not like how you guys use it here in America.
What do you mean?
We use it more for an educational system and science and stuff.
Oh, so you guys have different videos. I love
Yeah.
TikTok because I get to watch videos about clothes and shopping and makeup.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the American TikTokers on my TikTok page before.
Yeah, all the
Like,
influencers.
Charlie D'Amelio.
Oh my gosh, I love her.
They made a drink about her and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. Have you met her before?
No, I haven't met her, but I see her all the time on my For You page. That's so interesting though that you get educational videos.
Mm-hmm.
I never see those. I always just see things that are going on in the United States.
Yeah, it's really cool, honestly. It's kind of sad that, it's getting taken away and everything, but, we don't use it as crazy as you guys use it.
Really? It's a really big thing over here. A lot of people make money. They even, a lot of people quit their jobs to do TikTok as their own job.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are going to happen to all these people once TikTok gets taken away?
I don't know. Maybe they'll switch to other platforms like YouTube or things like that, but TikTok is a big source of income for these people.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So when you go back to China, do you think you're gonna enjoy using TikTok again?
I mean, probably not. TikTok's kind of dead over there, honestly. We use it for school and stuff, but, nothing else really. We don't have influencers, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, while we still have TikTok here, if you ever want me to teach you how to make a video, just let me know.
For sure. Maybe I'll take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what are you gonna, do with your free time after TikTok's taken away?
I don't know. I mean, I spend so much time on TikTok, but I think it'll give me a lot more time to focus on school and other things like that in my actual life.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm so glad that you're hanging out with us over here, though.
Oh, no, for sure. China's great, but America's so beautiful. And,
Yeah. Well, I would love to visit China someday.
Oh, please, come on over.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give you a tour.
That would be great.
Nice. Well, it was so nice talking to you and seeing you again.
Yeah, I loved it.
Awesome.
I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.